I don't know where I could have been without this inner work done with family constellations with my kids, with my girls. So by being a father, and then of course in relation with other people around, like friends, because it has, taken me in so many different areas of my life and transformed that completely. It has brought up truth. It has helped me to go back to my real place in the family of origin with my parents, my siblings, um, and it has been a hell of work to regain my position because I was off position, and my observation is that many of us, we are off our position, right position in the family of origin, and out of something that is called blind love, out of love, out of connection, out of wanting to do something good in the family of origin. We have gone away from our place of being only the child, and we have started to behave maybe like, for me, it has been behaving like the father of my mother, because she lost her father when she was 6 years old. And I always felt her pain for having lost her father. So in a way, blindly, out of that love, I wanted to, make her happy, and I wanted to let her feel that she could have a father, she could have a love of the father, you know. I was not respecting my grandpa, because I was taking his place for my mother. I was taking also the place of being the better man for my mother, because my father was, you know, what I was saying before, a bit uh, not that healthy anger person, you know. So in a way, I wanted also to protect her. So I was in the middle of my father and my mother. So I was, in a way, also a better man for her, going against also my father and increasing the pain of separation with my father and increasing the anger that was there, because somehow my father had a competitor, another a kid, the fifth kid. Uh, so, and why did I do all of that? Of course, blindly, because I felt out of love, out of service, out of wanting to do something good for everyone, but creating even more pain in me and in them, and not taking any pain away from my mother, for instance, or for their relationship and everything. So, of course, that was blind, and through this work, regaining my place as a kid, it meant going through a huge guilt, of course, taking responsibility of not serving anyone by being off on my place. Um, I, I felt also fear of losing those places where I was in, because what would happen to my mother if I would leave that place? What would happen to the relationship between my father and my mother? What would happen to my siblings also, and the rest of the people? Was fear. What would happen to me? Would I belong still if I am just a child and I don't do anything else to anybody of the family? Would I be integrated? Would I be supported, cared, or would I be, rejected? There was a huge fear, of course. And and the work, it has been to shift from this blind love into what I call it, and what's called also mature love, conscious love, because maturely you say that, I cannot save my mom. I'm not the father of my mom. I will never be the father of my mom. I'm not the man of my mother. I will never be a better man. She has a man. It's my father. It's not me. And if she doesn't want this man, she finds another man, but not me. I'm just a kid. And, this is the mature part that brings, has brought me back slowly, piece by piece, work after work, integration after integration, cry after I cry, anger after anger, disappointment after disappointment. But you know, taking away also that sense of arrogancy, because when I go away from my place and I take other places, I feel big, I feel strong. There is a sense of arrogance there. So I needed to digest something, some nuts, and then going back to that place, there's been a huge work of mature work and beautiful. I feel, that has replaced me in the right place in my family of origin. And Fleur, once we go back into that right place in family of origin, then it becomes a bit more easy when we go as a mature self in our relationships and of course in people that we know. And for me, it's also with my kids, with my girls. How to become the father and and acting in a mature way also with them. Of course, it's a dance. It's not something that once I know, I don't go back into the blindness and in my unconsciousness. It's a dance. As a human being, we dance between the blind and the mature love. And how many things I know, and that I make mistakes again and again with the same shit, you know? And then I remember, wow, wait a moment, let's go back to the mature self. So if before it will take maybe days and days, now it's a shift of a moment of consciousness that brings me back into the mature love. Yet it's a dance. And I have to say, Fleur, without this dance, I will not be alive. We will not be alive. It's really the dance of life and of humanness that is beautiful. So I'm not judging myself when I know stuff and I make mistakes and I'm unconscious and blind. Here I go. Wow, I teach and I do this shit. Yes, I'm a human being. Nevertheless, I'm sorry. I take responsibility for what I said and I did, and I make myself the best in order to keep in a mature way, in a conscious way. And I'm confident and trust that piece by piece, my consciousness will increase where I will not go into that blindness anymore spontaneously, naturally. I will be on the other side more and more,
Mm,
So,
that's
family
true.
constellation is a big thing. It's a huge, beautiful thing.